What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to check out BIOTIX from Smirk and Dagger. This is for 2 to 5 players. They take about 30 minutes to play, and I'd say it's for ages about 12 plus. And in BIOTIX, you are going to be a scientist. You're going to be putting various different BIOTIX cubes into your petri dish and into other people's petri dishes, trying not to get adverse reactions, but at the same time other people are going to try to give you adverse reactions, which will cause explosions, and you will lose your cubes, and your cubes to go to everybody else, and all sorts of silly stuff like that. It is a light, take-that-esque style game, but is it good? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of BIOTIX. So first and foremost, we got our handy-dandy rule sheet. It's one really long page, double-sided. It's got a couple of pictures and illustrations, but for the most part, it is pretty wordy. But that being said, it's a very well-done rule booklet that should have you up and running pretty smoothly. And on the back side, it's mostly about how you can play with the black invasion cubes, and then also sequence of play kind of thing. So, well-done rule booklet. Also, relatively simple game, so I can teach you how to play right now. So in BIOTIX, you're going to be playing over the course of 3 rounds. You're going to be trying to get the most points over 3 rounds by filling up your petri dish with various different BIOTIX, which are these little guys right here. You're going to come in various different colors, and all the different colors are going to score you different points, and they're going to have different reactions that will happen if you have too many of them in your petri dish. So let's go over the components. Let's get into the gameplay. So first, each player is going to get their little petri dish here. There's a 2 to 4 player side, and then there is a 5 player side. And they're both pretty much the same, except this one will have slightly less room in your petri dish before chain reactions go off, and also you will have less rounds, so the game won't drag on too long. It also tells you on the side how many each of the colors is going to be worth during the 3 phases of scoring. Next, over here, you're going to have this handy-dandy little cheat sheet card, which once again, 2 to 4 and 5 players over here. This is actually going to go in between each player, so you have enough to go in between all 5 of the players. And what's on here is very important. It's going to tell you, it's going to show you a picture of the various different BIOTIX you're going to deal with, their names. It's also going to tell you how many you can have in a petri dish before you trigger reaction. So for instance, you can only have 2 yellows before you trigger reaction, or 3 purples before you trigger reaction. Also, it's easy to figure out once you know what you're doing because there's only room for 1 yellow here, which if you have 2, boom, chain reaction. 3 purples, boom, reaction because there's only 2 spaces. Next, it's going to tell you what's going to happen when you trigger that reaction. Each color is going to do something a little bit different. Generally, they're going to start off, they're not going to be too terrible. Some of them, like for instance the red one, you can actually kind of use to your advantage from time to time. But once you get down to the yellow, it's all bad stuff. You're going to trash your explosive, which means you're going to lose, 15, at that point, 30 points. And then you're going to give away 3 of your other BIOTIX. So you're not just losing them, you are giving people other points. And then over here, it's going to tell you how many points you're going to get at the end of a round if you have those in your petri dish without them having a reaction. So, start off the game, we're gonna say stuff scientifically, and the first person is going to get the first player marker, or you can do any other number of things. Now, one thing I do want to mention is they give you a sticker sheet, which you can put on all of the different BIOTIX on one side. I'll talk more about the sticker sheet and the pros and cons. I love the fact they gave you the sticker sheet, but it's really hard to stick the stickers on sometimes. So, first player is going to go, and here's what you're going to do on your turn. It's very, very simple. You are going to reach into this bag, and you are going to grab out 2, and then you are going to decide, do I want to keep this for myself, or do I want to give it to someone else? So I could give both of these away, or I could keep both of these, or I could keep one and give one away. The important thing is you do everything one at a time, because when you give someone something, that can potentially trigger a reaction, which might have, multiple different effects. It might end up giving you cubes and giving other people cubes. So for instance, since this is the beginning of the round, I would probably give away this yellow one. Because while, yes, yellow is worth 15 points at the end, chances are someone is going to blow me up before I have a chance to really use it. So you know what? I will probably, let's get out another player board, and I will put it over here. And I'll give it to this guy right here. So, hey, you get this yellow. Good for you. Whereas I might keep this red one. And as you can see, I got a cool little sticker on that. So I would keep the red one. And that would be my entire turn. I would pass the bag, and then the next player would do the same thing. They're going to draw 2, and they're going to decide if they want to keep them, or if they want to give them away, or any combination of the same. Now, let's say it gets back to me. So when it gets back to me, when I hand the bag, I'm going to, boop, go, and it's going to be round number 2. And now, actually, you're supposed to do that as soon as you get the bag. So once someone hands me the bag, I do that. So round number 2, I'm going to draw 2 more, and then I'll keep another blue, keep another red, and yeah, but let's set it up. Let's say that I got this situation going right here. So this is what's going on. And oh no, somebody hands me a red. I have to take the red. So I now have triggered a reaction. So let's take a look at it. So this is the attractive one. So trash your attractives, and they give you this little warning volatile thing where you can put them in there. So boom, put them in there. They're trash. And now I'm going to take any 2 biotics from other players. So, you know, I might reach over here to this guy, which isn't actually a dude. I might say, yeah, I want your yellow because the round's about to end. Or, you know, maybe I want your green. So, in essence, I just gave up, you know, 3, 6, 9 points, but I might have just picked up, you know, 15 points or even more. So, they'll have different reactions. Let's talk about the different reactions real quick, and then I'll show you how the round is over. So first we got the blue ones. Give 1 of your blue ones in your dish to each player and trash the remainder. So that one's not too terrible, especially because they're only worth 2 points. You got the attractive one, which we just did. You have the repulsive, trash your green, and 1 more of your own biotics. So you're going to lose 4 green, and then you're going to lose 1 of something else. The magnetic one, this one is a real bummer, because you trash your purple, and then you trash everyone else's purple. So that one's a fun one to play on other people, so you can ruin everybody's purple. And then the yellow one we talked about, trash your explosive, and give away 3 of your other biotics. Obviously very bad. Now, what's eventually going to happen is, I'm going to get the bag, and this is already going to be on 1. So what happens now is I put this into the bag. And as soon as that white clock is drawn, that will be the end of this round. So even if I drew, you know, say a white and a yellow or something like that, I don't get to use the yellow. So let's, holy moly, I can't draw it out of the bag. Really? I've literally just emptied out the entire bag. What in the world? There's one thing left in here. Is it? Are you kidding me? Oh wait, where did I do with it? Okay, I lost the clock. Good for me. But anywho, once you draw out the clock, that will be the end of the round. At this point, you are going to tally up how many points you have left on your Petri dish. You're going to write that down, and you're going to go over the course of 3 rounds. Whoever has the most points at the end of 3 rounds will be the winner of the game. But there is one big catch-up mechanism that will happen after the second round. So after the second round, if you are down by 20 points, you can do what's called the Eureka paradox, which means you're going to take a sheet of paper and you are going to write down 1 color and 1 number that you think you're going to hit. So for instance, you might write down blue 2. And if you can end the round with 2 blue right there, you are going to score an additional 30 points. So even if you are down big after the end of the second round, you still have a chance to catch up. Now, I talked a little bit at the beginning about how there's also these black cubes, and I'll mention them now. This is the more advanced version of the game, and these are called the aggressive cubes. And when you get an aggressive cube, you're going to have to replace one of your other cubes with it. So when I get this, you know, I might be like, oh, boom, I'm going to get rid of this blue. So this counts as a blue, but it has -2 scoring. So at the end of this round, if I had that one still right there, instead of getting 2 points, I would get 0 points because it would be -2. But on the flip side, if I had nothing but black cubes, they would all be worth 5 points. So it's a little bit of an interesting aspect there. Also, you can have reactions and give people those black cubes. It does add a little bit more take that to the game, and a game that already has quite a good deal of take that. But that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play BIOTIX. Alrighty then, BIOTIX from Smirk and Dagger Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go to the pros, let's go to the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. This is a light, simple, take that game, which will be a turnoff to a lot of people. Also, I liked it best at 3, 4, and 5 players. It's not a bad game at 2 players. I just liked it best at the higher player counts because you have more choices where you can put the BIOTIX when you draw them out of the bag. And I don't think I'd ever play it again at 2 players. So, another comment of this game, this is kind of a weird, nitpicky con. So first and foremost, I want to say I love the fact that they include stickers with this game that you can put on the BIOTIX. It adds a lot of aesthetic appeal to the game, and the stickers look really cute. So I love that fact. But that being said, because the meeples are so cool, the little cubes are so cool, they actually look like these little, you know, amoebas you'd find in a Petri dish. It's really difficult to get the stickers on there the perfect way that if you're anal like me about putting stickers on game components, you should put it on there. And there always feels like there's a little bit of overlap, which is kind of annoying. But that being said, that's more like an OCD little nitpick. So I'm still very happy they included the stickers, but I wish they were a little bit easier to put on the pieces. Any other cons I have with the game? This is kind of a weird con as well. The advanced version of the game with the black cubes doesn't really set itself apart from the regular version of the game, in my opinion. When I see an advanced version of the game and a base version of the game, I normally expect the advanced version of the game to be like, blow me away, like I had a whole new element to the game. Now, the black cubes do but I don't know. It just didn't blow me away. And everybody I played with was like, yeah, I like the black version of the game with the black cubes. But at the same time, I like the base version of the game. And I don't know. It adds a couple extra minutes to each round as well, potentially, because you're going to be less likely to draw the white timer out of there. So, you know what? This is a nitpick. Honestly, everything I'm about to tell you is a nitpick. I'll put it like this. If you hate take-that games, this one's not going to be for you. If you're okay with take-that games, I'd recommend trying this one out. And if you love take-that games, then absolutely I recommend trying this one out. Because moving on to the pros, I surprisingly really enjoyed BIOTIX. Now, for me, I enjoy take-that games, but they have to be just about perfect for my liking. I like it when it's not too mean, or if it is too mean, just everybody's being non-stop mean, so it's not like a big deal how mean the game is. This one does that. Like, just right from the beginning, like if you draw 2 yellows, you might be like, yellow for you, both of those are going to explode, ha ha ha. Like, it starts off just punch you in the face with the meanness, but since everybody's being equally amounts of mean, it doesn't feel like it's a terribly mean game, which I like. The next thing is, take-that games for me cannot be too long. They cannot outstay their welcome, because we've all been there in a take-that game where the game is just, God, just end this game. End this game. And for one reason or another, the game will not end. I call it the Munchkin effect, for instance. Because if you have the cards, a game of Munchkin will continue to go on and on and on and on because you can prolong it with the cards that you have. This one does not have that problem because, you know, after you get done with the 3 rounds, boom, you pop that timer in there, and as soon as that timer gets drawn, game over. So I like that aspect as well. I also like the fact that you're never quite sure when the round was going to end. Now, granted, this could be a pro and this could be a con to other people, but I really like the fact that as soon as you put that timer in the bag, the round could be over immediately. So then it becomes this little bit of a press your luck sort of thing where it's like, ooh, I drew a yellow, and that's 15 points, and I know that timer is going to be coming out soon, but at the same time, if the timer doesn't come out soon, then someone for sure is going to blow me up, and then I'm going to lose a bunch of my points, so I like that little extra press your luck aspect into there. I also like the fact that they included the black bonus version of the game. This feels like something that should have been like a micro expansion that you'd get for like $5 or something like that, but they included it in the game, so I'm a big fan of that, even though it didn't wow me necessarily. Anything else that I liked about the game? No, I just, components are nice. I like the little wooden pieces. I like the fact they include this nice sturdy bag. You know, the player aid card is very useful. The Petri dish is easy to understand. The game is relatively easy to teach. No, I'd say it is easy to teach. Just pure and simple, it's easy to teach. It's just like, all right, just on your turn, grab 2, pass them, or keep them. Here's what happens when happens. I love how easy it is to teach this game. I recommend this. BIOTIX from Smirk and Dagger. This is a really enjoyable, lightweight filler game. I'm going to keep this game. This is going to be on my shelf, and this is going to be one of those ones where we have like 6 players, and you know, one person's running a little bit late. I will grab this easily, be able to teach it in under 5 minutes. We'll be done in like 25, 30 minutes. So overall, BIOTIX, Smirk and Dagger. If you're in the market for a take that filler game, this is definitely one that I can recommend. I also would recommend it as a family game as well, as long as your family can deal with the take that in the game, just as long as you're not playing 2 players. So BIOTIX, Smirk and Dagger, definite recommendation from me. I enjoyed this one a good deal. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below or the comments below. Let me know. Chemistry. Did you enjoy it when you were younger? For me personally, no. It bored the living crap out of me. Now, that being said, now that I'm older, I really like science. I like learning about the future, and I wish I would have paid more attention in chemistry class because I would love to be able to do some sciencey stuff on my own, but unfortunately, when I was younger, chemistry was just boring to me, and now I kind of regret it. But let me know in the comments below. Chemistry, yay or nay, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.